Hello students, welcome to this EduSet English teleteaching program. In the last session, we discussed the first 4 stanzas of the poem from the formalin jar by Dr. Rita S. Mani. Today, we will discuss the last 2 stanzas. Before going to the stanza number 5 and 6, let us have a recap what we did in the last session. Let us see, and then we will discuss some questions of the stanza 3 and 4, and then we will discuss stanza 5 and 6, right. So, my dear children, so let us see what we discussed in the last session. The poem is from the formalin jar, and also we know Dr. Rita S. Mani is the poet of this poem, and she is now working as professor in the Niemann's, right. So, we have discussed stanza 1, 2, stanza 3, 4. In the stanza first stanza, a young boy has been killed in an accident and his brain has been preserved. ता brain टाको रखा है म्यूजियम रे, ता brain टा कथा कहूची कवि भावुचंती, the poet thinks imagines that brain टा कथा कहूची, brain कहूची मु किए से निजर परिचय दउची कोठु आसिली एवं तेनु फर्स्ट 2 stanza रे, in the first 2 stanza the brain introduces himself, self introduction of the brain, and his feeling, how he feels inside the jar. He talks about all these things. In stanza 3 and 4 we have also discussed. So, the brain is describing Vicky. Brain ta Vicky विषय कहूची जे Vicky किए से कौन करूथिला, से कोड थिला, ता घरे से काहक भल पाउथिला, केमती he was intelligent, his favorite subjects were mathematics and computer science, we have already discussed, and his relation with his family and others, right. So, let us go to the poem. I am just going to read out the poem once again, then we will discuss very quickly, right. You listen to me, I am very quickly going to read out the poem. So, from the formalin jar, I am Vicky's brilliant brain sitting in a formalin jar with disdain, on display to promote knowledge gain, watching people stare at me again and again. How insulting to be called a specimen. 2 years ago I was part of a living human. I got no stroke, tumor or bug within, yet ended off in this jar to my chagrin, right. And Vicky was a young boy, smart and sane, full of life, vigor, sun, wind and rain. Computers and maths were his domain. His motto in life was no pain, no gain. Vicky's love for his parents was truly insane, and he adored his grandma, wrinkles and cane. In college, when he stole a glance at Lorraine, why his heart went thought, only I could explain. Brain कहूची मु निजे ही कहि परिबा आ केही जानि नांत, right. Okay. So, last 2 stanzas we will discuss. On a wet monsoon day for a task mundane, Vicky rode his bike to his friend in the next lane. For once from wearing his helmet he did refrain, but he met with an extent gory and inhumane. Was a stray moment in a young life lost, a family crushed with pain. Dear friends, take care, risky driving can be vain. Drive safe, let your precious life not be in vain. So, before going to stanza 5 and 6, let us take 3 or 4 minutes to discuss the questions of stanza 3 and 4, right. So, you see question 1 of stanza 3 and 4, who are there in these 2 stanzas? We have already discussed Vicky, his parents, grandmother and his friends. So, the poet talks about Vicky, his parents, grandmother and friends, right, in stanza 3 and 4. Who speaks about Vicky in the poem? So, the brain is introducing himself and talks about Vicky. So, you see the brain is talking about Vicky. So, who is Vicky? Vicky किए से कोड आसला, कोड रहउतला, कोन करूतला, brain कहूची ताकू कवि भाबुचंदी जे brain टा से तार से कहूची. How does the brain describe Vicky? So, you see a young boy, smart with sound mind, talented, smart young boy, good character, all these things the brain is talking about Vicky, right. Question 4, which line in stanza 3 describes that Vicky was strong and healthy? You see the line sane, smart and sane. from these two words, very smart and sane, very healthy, strong and wise, right. So, which were Vicky's favorite not favorite, right, favorite subjects, and the answer is computer and mathematics. You can also get this multiple choice type of questions, right. So, Vicky was hardworking, which expression in stanza 3 support? His motto in life, no pain no gain. No pain no gain means Vicky was very hardworking. What is the fourth stanza about? His relation with family and members. So, stanza 3 description of Vicky, stanza 4 his relation with family members and with others. Number 9, which word says that Vicky loved his parents too much? Yes, you see the word insane, right. So, the word insane, that means excess, loved excess, love for his parents was truly insane, right. Who else did Vicky love like his parents? So, in addition to his parents, Vicky also liked and loved his grandmother, his wrinkles on his face and his stick with her hand, right. Okay. So, let us go to the next question. What things of the grandmother did Vicky like? I have already told you, wrinkles and her stick, adored his grandma, wrinkles and cane, right, the poem, the line. The Vicky's character was very good. Which line expresses the idea? Fourth line of the fourth stanza. His heart went thud. माने ताकु डर लागुला, he was afraid of looking at the girls in the college. College रे झियो मानकु देखिया पे ताकु डर लागुला, चाहू नथिला. That means he was having a very good character, right. When did he become shamefaced? When he looked at girls. Number 14, he liked his grandmother's dash, wrinkles and stick. His motto in life was pain for gain, that means no pain no gain. So, pain for gain, if you want to gain something you have to take pain, right. So, let us go to stanza 5 and 6. We will discuss this and then we will go to the questions. On a wet monsoon day, you see these two stanzas are about how Vicky was killed. पिला माने मु तुम कहूची जे ब्रेन टा अछि गोटे पिलाटे कॉलेज गोइंग पिलाटे धनी घर रो पिलाटे मरी जाईछि से एक्सीडेंट रे ता ब्रेन टा को रखा जाईछि से कथा कहूची से कहूची मु एठी अछि दुख रे अछि मु भिकी पाकर थिली 2 वर्ष तळे मु भिकी टू आछि भिकी एमती गोटे पिला एवं तार एक्सीडेंट विषय बर्तन से कहूची से केमती मला हाउ डिड ही पास अवे हाउ वाज ही किल्ड इन एन एक्सीडेंट ऑन ए वेट monsoon day for a task mundane you see simple ordinary, that means the task is not so important. This word mundane, this is simple, that means no very unimportant work. So, on a wet monsoon day, it was a rainy day and for a simple work Vicky rode his bike to his friend in the next lane. So, where was his friend staying? In the next lane, very near to his house. There was no important work, but he rode. For once from wearing his helmet he did only, you see, for only once in his life, right. So, only once in his life he did refrain, he stopped wearing helmet. This means he used to wear helmet always, but that day only for once he did not. Refrain means he stopped, you see, refrain, stopped. He could not wear, पिंधि नथिला, he did not wear, पिंधि नथिला, से गोटिए थर ता जीवन सबु बेले पिंधे, सेही दिनटा पिंधि नथिला, काहेकि because his friend was living next in the next lane, very close to his house. एटा बेसी बाट नथिला, अल्प दूर रे सांग थिला, काम भी किछि गुरुत्व नथिला. God, he met with an accident, gory, that means full of blood, bloodshed, right, and inhumane, cruel, very serious accident. So, my dear students, he was killed in an accident which was really very full of blood. And why? in human, because he did not wear his helmet, he had his brain injury, right. So, all it took was a stray movement, stray you see, separate, homeless, wandering movement. That means he was wandering without work, he was moving here and there, he was going to his friend without any important work. So, inane, right, you see, inane, silly, stupid. That means the moment, the time was not so important, the work was not so important, he was riding his bike to his friend, but only once, right, you see, but only once he did not wear his helmet and he met with an accident. So, all it took was a stray movement in a young life lost, a family crushed with pain, right, that means suffered with pain. Dear friends, take care, risky driving can be vain, boon and bane, boro abhisap, right. So, that means can be also a loss. So, you see the last line, drive, this is very important, right. Drive safe, the poet Rita S. Mani, doctor, writes these two words in capital letter. That means the message is there, the focus is there, drive safe, my dear children. When you are walking, when you are riding your bicycles, when you are driving or you will drive your bikes, drive safe, do not be hurry, obey the rules. This is the message which has been conveyed by the poem. सबु कवितार कविंकर गोटे वार्ता थाए, से समाज को गोटे वार्ता दे था, तेणु कवि डॉक्टर रीता एस मनी, she has also conveyed this message that, oh young boys, girls, you drive safe. That is why she has used capital letters for this. Sometimes question आसे एटा कहीं capital letter लिखा है like कवितार सेटा होची, this is the key idea, this is the message conveyed by the poet through this poem, right. And let your precious life not be in vain, asafal, unsuccess in vain. So, do not give your life to be unsuccessful, that is why you should be very much careful. So, my dear students, I think बढ़िया कविताटे, सुंदर कविताटे, पिलाटे मरी जाइछि, ता ब्रेन टाकू रखा जाइछि, प्रिजर्व कराई कि कवि भावुछन्ति ब्रेन टा से कथा कहूछि जे मो दुखरे अछि, मु भिकी पाखरे थिली, भिकी एमती गोटे सुंदर पिला थिला एवं से छोट काम पई सबु बेले से पिंधे, माने ही यूज्ड टू वेयर हेलमेट ऑलवेज, बट वन डे वन्स इन हिज लाइफ से पिंधिलानी एवं से सांग पाखु अल्प दूर रे जाउथिला, भाबिला किछि कम बाट तो मु न पिंधिले चलिबो, इट कैन बी मैनेज्ड, but he met with an accident. The accident was gory, blood-shed and very cruel, very serious, and he was killed, right. So, let us go to the questions. What does the poet narrate in stanza 5? The answer is about the accident. So, stanza 5 is about the accident, stanza 6 is about the result, right. Now, you see who was Vicky riding his bike to? So, Vicky was riding his bike to his friend, right. We have already discussed, yes. Why was he going to his friend? He was going to his friend for some unimportant work, there is nothing important, right. Number 4, was the work very important for Vicky? Which word says so? No, the work was not very important. Mundane means task, mundane means simple, unimportant, right. So, next question, where did his friend live? We have already discussed, his friend lived in the next lane, right. What happened to Vicky on his way to his friend? The accident took place, but an accident, right. So, next question, how is the accident described in the poem? Gory and inhumane. Gory and inhumane means cruel with a lot of blood-shed, yes, right. So, we discussed the 7 questions, again we will also discuss some more questions and then we will go for some multiple choice type of questions, right. So, dear students, let us go to the next question. So, question number 8, why was Vicky's brain injured? You see the answer, did not put on the helmet. Put on where? He did not wear the helmet, that is why his brain, Vicky's brain was injured, right. So, question 9, which words in stanza 5 say that Vicky always wore his helmet, but he did not wear it that day. सबुदिन पिंधु नथला सेही दिन केवल पिंधिनी ता भाग्य को, right. So, the answer is, you see, once refrain. Refrain means stopped. He did refrain means he stopped that day, right. Question 10, what may be the cause of not wearing helmet that day? कौन हेई पारे, कवि लिखि नांती, आमको भाबिया पड़े कौन हेई पारे कौन? Maybe friend lived in the next lane near to his house. See, he might have thought this, से भाभी थियो ए पाखेर तो मु नेबी कौन. तेणु आमे we should be very much careful even for a short distance. We have to be very careful. We should also put on our helmet while riding bike, right. So, what was the result of the accident? This two things, death of Vicky, Vicky was killed, and the second thing is, you see, two things. So, one is death of Vicky, Vicky was killed, and second is pain and suffering to the family. एटा पिले गोटे माने मे बी एटा गोटे सत घटना पर आधारित गोटे विराट धनी लोक कोटी कोटी टंकार संपत्ति गोटी पो किछि नाही एक्सीडेंट हे गला पिलाटी मरी गला, राइट. मरी गला परे व्हाट हैपेंड, यू सी, द एंटायर फैमिली वाज ruined, the entire family suffered a lot of pain and lot of sufferings, right. So, let us go to the next question. What message does the poet give us through this poem? We have already discussed to be careful about risky driving and to drive safe. We should not be careless, we should not drive taking risk, we should wait, right. We should not be hurry, right. Let us go to the next question. What are the other causes of accidents? So, this is up to you, you think there are so many causes, right. So, helmet wearing, not wearing helmet is one of the causes, but there are so many causes. So, the causes may be not obeying rules of road, there are so many rules, you should be very much careful. Drinking alcohol is also another cause, using mobiles, sometimes students, the young children, the college going children, they use mobiles at the time of riding their cycles or driving their bikes or driving their cars, right. So, we should be very much careful for this. How can we prevent ourselves from such type of accidents? So, we should be careful about risky driving and obeying all the road safety rules, right. Number 15, Vicky was riding to his dash, to his friend. Number 16, he was riding to his friend on a dash day, rainy day, wet monsoon, right, you see. So, monsoon day. Number 17, he did not put on his dash that day. We have already discussed, very simple question, his helmet that day, right. So, why does the poet use the words drive safe in capital letters? That is very important, that is that carries the message in the poem. So, you see, this is very important, and most of the time this question comes in your examination, right. So, capital letter means the poet wants to, right, the poet wants to, right, give the message. These two words carries the message of the poet. He makes the young people aware of the road safety rules, right, because young people, they are always, they want to drive very quickly, very fast, they enjoy driving or riding their bikes very fast. So, my dear students, please be very careful, do not you kill your own life, do not also allow parents or do not yes, give a lot of pain and sufferings to your parents, right. So, let us go to the multiple choice type of questions. My dear students, you know, in your examination you can get multiple choice type of questions. We have already discussed the same questions, this is the these are in the form of multiple choice type of questions. Options, you see, who is the poet of the poem Formalin Jar? C. F. Alexander, B. Rita S. Mani, C. William Wordsworth, D. John Keats, and let us see the answer. The answer is, we have already discussed Rita S. Mani, the doctor, the professor in the Nimans Bangalore has written this poem, right. So, let us go to the next question. Who is speaking from the formalin jar? So, you see the options: Becky's soul, Becky, the boy, the brain. So, you see who is talking, who is speaking? The brain. Becky's brain has been preserved and he is talking. Who are the people described in the poem? ये कवितार किए के लोक अच्छा देख Vicky and the brain, B Vicky and his parents, C Vicky and his grandmother, Vicky his family members and brain. So, I think the D, yes D, Vicky his family members and parents, his grandma and also the brain, everything, right. So, let us go to the next question. Who is I in the first two stanzas? So, I is self introduction by yes whom you see, the brain, Vicky, the poet, Vicky's soul, and the correct answer is I think the brain, you see, right. So, I refers to, this is a referential question and in your examination you will also get one referential question. I he pronoun टे देइथिबो से कहा पई बसिची कहा जाइथिबो बाहर करिया पई, right. Let us go to the next question. Why does the brain feel insulted staying in the jar? Yes, due to sealed jar, to be a specimen, nobody looks at him, due to Vicky's death. कहा पई से माने अपमान होउछन्ति, निजको अपमानित फील करछन्ति. देखियो आंसर इज टू बी ए स्पेसिमन. दैट मीन्स द ब्रेन डज नॉट वांट टू बी ए स्पेसिमन. लोक ताको गोटे नमूना हिसाब रे सैंपल हिसाब रे देखुछन, राइट. नाउ यू सी नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. व्हिच वर्ड इन द सेकंड स्टैंजा मीन्स डिससैटिस्फैक्शन? सेकंड स्टैंजा you see chagrin, promote, stroke, shame, and the correct answer is I have already told you chagrin. Chagrin is unhappy, dissatisfaction, right. Okay. Now, which were Vicky's favorite subjects? We have already discussed Vicky was a very brilliant student in college. So, English and mathematics, computer and math, computer and science, and math and science, and I think the answer must be option B. So, see yes, computer and math were his domain, study area, right. Next question. Which word says that Vicky loved his parents too much, right. So, option A inane, disdain, sane, insane. You see all the words, the pronunciation, the last sound ends with no, inane, disdain, sane, insane, and the correct answer is insane, too much, right. Number 9, Vicky's motto in life was dash, right. So, option A lot of pain, a lot of gain, pain and gain, no pain, no gain. So, no pain, no gain is his motto or was his motto. That means, he was hard working. If you want to get or if you want to gain, then you have to take a lot of pain, right. Next question. Yes, no pain, no gain. Next question. Vicky liked his grandmother's dash, two things. Now, you see wrinkles and her stick, wrinkles of her face, stick in her hand, interesting stories. So, the correct answer is wrinkles and her stick. बाड़ी आउ तांकर जो चम धुड़ धुड़ को से पसंद करूला, बहुत भल पाउला, राइट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. व्हाट मेसेज डज द पोएट गिव अस थ्रू दिस पोएम? राइट. ऑप्शन ए टू वर्क हार्ड, टू ड्राइव सेफ, टू स्टडी वेल, टू लव फैमिली मेंबर्स, and the correct answer is to drive safe, to be very much careful at the time of, right. This is the message of the poem. Again I highlight this. So, drive safe, drive very carefully, right. Okay. So, we discussed, yes, we discussed 11 multiple choice type of questions. I think we do not have so much time for this. Let us summarize what we discussed in a minute, right. The summary of the poem. The name of the poem is From the Formalin Jar. We have 6 stanzas. Stanza 1 and 2 talks about self introduction of brain and his feeling. Brain nijo bishay kohuche. Stanza 3 and 4, the brain describes Vicky and his relation with family members and others. And in the last 2 stanza, stanza 5 and 6, it talks about the accident and the result of the accident, the suffering of the family, and also the message the poet gives conveys the message of the poem through the poem to the society. So, my dear students, you should make yourself aware of the road safety rules. Do not ride fast, ride and drive very carefully and be safe on road. Thank you very much. See you in the next session.